more room in me today, more sky between one thought and the next. The body keeps a lighter balance, as if it trusts the ground again. I don't need to name the change to feel it moving through the frame. A steadier current underneath, a gentler hold around the ribs. What used to tighten at the future no longer closes quite the same. What once arrived as pressure now arrives as open air. I can meet the day without shrinking, I can let it come in whole. And something in that simple welcome feels like the start of being free. This is where breathing widens, where the chest gives way to light. Not the kind that burns for notice, but the kind that lets me through. I can feel the inner weather shifting toward a clearer way to live. And the morning keeps unfolding without asking me to rush. Hope does not need to raise its voice to change the atmosphere. Sometimes it enters by making space where strain used to remain. That is enough to call it turning, that is enough to call it real. A softer form of readiness, a calmer form of will. This is where breathing widens into motion, into trust, into a day I do not have to fight, into room I can inhabit. What is growing does not force me, what is bright does not erase. It just shows a wider distance between the self and what once weighed. The air moves clean, the pulse grows wide, and something open stays inside.
After the pressure passes, the air does not turn bright. It only grows more honest and easier to move inside. What held against my thinking no longer fills the frame, and every step feels simpler than the ones that came before. I walk without escaping, without rehearsing what still hurts. There's something steady in this middle between the heaviness and light. Not joy exactly, not forgetting, just the end of being pressed. A clearer line inside the body, leading forward without force. There is something clear after passing. Not perfection, not relief made loud, just a little more room in the breathing. just a little less weight in the blood. And I can move without defending, I can look ahead without demand. What was blurred begins to open into something I can stand. I used to think all healing had to arrive in obvious ways. Now I trust the quieter shifts, the ones that change the inner weight. Enough to make the road feel possible, enough to let the shoulders drop, enough to hear the day continuing without needing it to stop. There is something clear after passing, something steadier than before. Not a finish, not a triumph, just a calmer way to go. What was difficult is loosening, what was loud grows less severe, and I can hear myself returning in the silence, settling here. The air moves through, steps stay true, and something clear comes into view.
There are days that end by opening, by giving more than they first seem to hold. Not through spectacle or sudden color, but through a quiet rise in tone. The body notices before the mind does, a little more space around the heart, a little less weight in the moving, a little more yes in the step. I have carried enough to know that lightness doesn't mean denial. It means the strain has changed its distance, it means the breath has found more room. And standing here within that widening, I don't need to call it victory, only a gentler kind of future, coming close enough to feel. When the day opens, everything answers differently. The chest, the pace, the inner voice, all turning toward release. Not forgetting, not pretending, only opening by degrees. And the world feels more receivable than it did before this ease. Maybe closure is not an ending, maybe it is simply space restored, a way of meeting what comes after without shrinking from its shape. That is what this moment offers, not perfection, not applause, only a clearer kind of presence and the strength to stay inside it. When the day opens, I can feel the hour grow wider. What was dim is now more legible, what was burdened stands more free. There is hope in this without excess, there is warmth without display, and I can leave this moment more open than the one who entered it. The sky stays clear, the pulse stays something lifted stays inside. The day leaves marks in the body, but not all of them have to stay. Some of it can loosen slowly, some of it can lose its claim. You don't have to carry onward every strain that followed through. There are ways to come back inward without asking where you broke. Even now the breath can lengthen. Even now the chest can clear. What felt fixed a moment earlier can change by being met more gently. No demand to make a lesson, no pressure to become at once. Only this steadier permission to be tired and still be whole. Nothing hard remains, not in the same way, not forever. What presses now can thin and soften. What darkens now can lose its hold. You can let this hour receive you without having to explain. There is kindness in continuing. There is calm beyond the strain. I have seen how relief begins not through brightness, not through escape, but through being given room to breathe without defense. That is enough for this moment. That is enough to let things change. Not by force, not by denial, but by gentler ways of staying. Nothing hard remains, even if it lingers for a while. It's shake and shift inside the body. Its voice can fade against the breath. You are not required to conquer. You are not required to shine, only to remain within yourself till the pressure gives you time. The dust goes tender, the pace grows slow, and what was hard begins to let go.
beside us, in a tone too calm to break. We keep the same direction without deciding who began. There's a warmth beneath the silence, not bright enough to ask for notice. Only something growing clearer as the distance starts to thin. I can feel it in the pacing, and how neither one of us withdraws. Nothing hurried into meaning, nothing shaped to look profound. Still the air grows more attentive, still the space between us shifts, like a truth not yet spoken, already finding where to live. Before it settles, it is already changing me. Before it turns to language, it has altered how I move. There's a nearness taking shape without demanding to be named, and I know it by the quiet, by the warmth that stays in place. Some feelings ask for patience, not because they doubt themselves, but because they carry better when they enter without force. I don't need to make this brighter, I don't need to make it known. What is real can hold its balance long before it speaks aloud. Before it settles, it has already reached the body, in the easing of my guard, in the softness of my pace. What was only possibility now feels steady, low and true, and the way we keep on moving makes me trust what's coming through. The evening widens, the current runs slow, and something quiet starts to grow.
We do not have to name it to feel the distance change. It happens in the quiet of how we keep the same pace. Nothing bright enough to startle, nothing hidden out of fear, only a gentler current drawing closer as we move. A glance becomes an answer, a pause becomes a kind of trust, and what began as open space now carries something warm beneath. No rush toward confession, no need to press it into words. Still the air grows more attentive, still the nearness keeps its shape. We are nearer by degrees, not through promises or fire, but through how we walk beside it, through the ease that does not strain. Something tender is unfolding without asking to be shown, and the way you stay beside me makes the whole world feel less far. The honesty of this, how it does not call for drama, how affection gathers slowly and arrives without disguise. Some feelings deepen better when they are given time to form, not declared against the silence, but carried gently through it. We are nearer by degrees, nearer in was only possibility now has warmth beneath its name. No need to force the moment brighter, no need to prove what this may mean. There is something true between us in the way we keep it easy. The pace stays light, dusk goes wide, and nearness keeps its side. The day steps back a little from the edge it held too long, and something in my breathing finds a quieter place to land. What felt close and pressing loses some of its demand, till the body starts remembering how to loosen without fear. I don't need the world made lighter, I don't need a sudden change, only this return of balance, only this untroubled air. Every thought that ran in circles begins to widen at the seams, and the strain that filled the hours no longer sounds the same. This is a softer return to myself, to steadier ground, not through rescue, not through wonder, just through laying pressure down. I can feel the pace grow kinder, I can feel the chest unclose, and the room inside my silence starts to feel like somewhere known. Maybe peace is not dramatic, maybe peace is simply less resistance in the body, less insistence in the head. No one asking me for brightness, no one pulling me ahead, only the quiet recognition I have carried enough today. This is a softer return, and I am letting it come nearer through the breath and through the stillness, through the parts that crushed can now lie low, and I can stay inside this calm long enough to trust its tone. The pulse grows clear, the pace grows slow, and something steady starts to show. I've been learning how to see without turning sharp again, how to meet my own reflection without asking it for proof. Not as someone needing rescue, not as someone to repair, only as a life still moving through an unfinished kind of grace. What felt jagged starts to soften, what felt urgent loses heat. Even thoughts that used to circle now begin to spread and thin. There is less resistance in me, less need to hold against the grain. And in that change I find quiet I had almost stopped expecting. I'm finding a kind of frame, one that doesn't close me in, one that leaves enough forgiveness for the parts still learning ease. This is not a grand becoming, only a steadier way to stand, but it carries more healing than the harder ways I knew. There are days when care looks simple, like not making every feeling a trial, like letting the body speak more softly and trusting what grows calm. I do not need to earn this gentleness, I do not need to arrive transformed. I can begin from where I'm breathing and let that be enough for now. I'm finding a kind of frame, and it fits more honestly, not polished into certainty, not pushed beyond its need, just a slower form of courage, just a warmer way to live. And the self I meet this evening feels easier to forgive. The breath stays low, the mind gives way, and kindness learns to stay.
Something in me has stopped resisting, not because the road is smooth, but because I'm no longer answering every pressure with a shield. The air feels wider after passing through what it needed to become, and the ground ahead seems readable in a way it didn't before. I'm not stepping into brightness, I'm stepping into something clear, where the weight has less authority and the body moves with less defense. There's no anthem in this change, no sudden surge, no borrowed fire. Only a steadier return of motion, only a quieter kind of lift. I am moving into open ground, into room, into direction, into a pace that does not fight me, into breath that reaches through. What was blurred begins to open, what was guarded eases back, and the line ahead feels honest in a way I almost trust. Renewal doesn't always dazzle, sometimes it just makes space. Sometimes it comes as less confusion, sometimes it comes as easier steps. That is enough to call it change, that is enough to keep on going, without pretending nothing hurt, without letting it decide the forms of living, where the strain no longer leads, and the future doesn't need a shout. What is opening can stay gentle, what is new can still be calm, and I can walk inside this widening without fear of losing shape. The way grows open, breath goes far, and something clear becomes where I am. Without pulling everything behind them, there are paths the mind can cross without falling through the years. What remains is not the sharpness, not the ache in its first form, only something quieter now, moving underneath the day. I can feel it in the openness, in the way the air goes through. Not as longing asking back, not a sorrow dressed in grace, just a low and steady imprint that no longer closes in. A part of what I've carried, growing lighter as I live. What still moves doesn't ask to take me under, it stays near the edges of the self, in a tone I can receive. Not a plea, not a returning, not a shadow over now, only a human kind of memory, becoming gentler in the blood. Stories last, not by holding every detail still, but by losing what was hardest and keeping only what was true.
fade, and I can meet the past more openly when it no longer asks to stay. What still moves has become part of the weather in me, not a storm, not even rain, only movement through the air. Something lived and something carried, something changed and something known, and the shape it leaves behind feels lighter than before. The air moves through the hillside breeze, and memory rests without asking me.
The road no longer feels like pressure. It feels like somewhere I can move without proving I am ready, without racing what comes next. There is calm inside the motion. There is ease beneath the speed, and the day passes in a manner that no longer leans against me. I know what it is to brace too early, to meet the future with a shield. But something in me has grown steadier. Something has unclenched its will. I don't need a dramatic turning. I don't need to leave the past behind. Only this more human distance between the body and the strain. This is a road without pressure, not because it lost its edges, but because I meet it differently, with less fear inside the chest. I can go without defending, I can move without escape, and the way ahead feels honest in a lower kind of key. Renewal may be quiet by nature, a thing of posture, breath and pace, a way of entering the hours without taking up a weapon that is enough to call it healing, that is enough to call it change. When the body stops expecting harm, the whole world shifts its frame. This is a road without pressure, and I am gentler moving through it, while was tight has lost its rule. What was hard has eased its claim. I am not arriving spotless. I am not returning new. Only more able to continue with a steadier point of view. The line runs on, the breath runs deep, and something calm is mine to keep.
We do not need much language. The morning already knows our pace. There's a quiet in the way we move that feels older than the day. Nothing needing to be proven, nothing arranged to look like love. Only the ease that comes from staying long enough to soften into one. I know your silences by rhythm, you know mine by how they lift. And somewhere in that plain understanding, a deeper kind of warmth appears. Not the kind that asked for witness, not the kind that turns to shore. Only something lived so often, it has entered how we breathe. This is the pace we keep, not in words but in the flow, in the way we make room naturally, in the way the day grows whole. No bright promise, no performance, just a calm that learned our names, and a closeness made of patience that remains without display. I used to think devotion had to rise and make itself known. Now I trust the quieter versions, the ones that steady rather than shine. What lasts does not always announce itself. Sometimes it becomes the atmosphere, a way of being less alone, without needing to explain why. This is the pace we keep, something gentle, something proven, not by vows or sudden fire, but by how the spirit rests. What we've made is not dramatic, that is why it feels so true. When the morning moves more softly, when it opens through me and you, the breath stays near, the pace stays kind, and what we are takes its time. There is more room in me today, more sky between one thought and the next. The body keeps a lighter balance, as if it trusts the ground again. I don't need to name the change to feel it moving through the frame. A steadier current underneath, a gentler hold around the ribs. What used to tighten at the future no longer closes quite the same. What once arrived as pressure now arrives as open air. I can meet the day without shrinking. I can let it come in whole. And something in that simple welcome feels like the start of being free. This is where breathing widens, where the chest gives way to light. Not the kind that burns for notice, but the kind that lets me through. I can feel the inner weather shifting toward a clearer way to live. And the morning keeps unfolding without asking me to rush. Hope does not need to raise its voice to change the atmosphere. Sometimes it enters by making space where strain used to remain. That is enough to call it turning. That is enough to call it real. A softer form of readiness, a calmer form of will. This is where breathing widens into motion, into trust, into a day I do not have to fight, into room I can inhabit. What is growing does not force me. What is bright does not erase. It just shows a wider distance between the self and what once weighed. The air moves clean. The pulse grows wide. And something open stays inside.
After the pressure passes, the air does not turn bright. It only grows more honest and easier to move inside. What held against my thinking no longer fills the frame, and every step feels simpler than the ones that came before. I walk without escaping, without rehearsing what still hurts. There's something steady in this middle between the heaviness and light. Not joy exactly, not forgetting, just the end of being pressed. A clearer line inside the body, leading forward without force. There is something clear after passing. Not perfection, not relief made loud. Just a little more room in the breathing. Just a little less weight in the blood. used to think all healing had to arrive in obvious ways. Now I trust the quieter shifts, the ones that change the inner weight, enough to make the road feel possible, enough to let the shoulders drop, enough to hear the day continuing without needing it to stop. There is something clear after passing, something steadier than before. Not a finish, not a triumph, just a calmer way to go. What was difficult is loosening, what was loud grows less severe, and I can hear myself returning in the silence, settling here. The air moves through, steps stay true, and something clear comes into view.
There are days that end by opening, by giving more than they first seem to hold. Not through spectacle or sudden color, but through a quiet rise in tone. The body notices before the mind does, a little more space around the heart, a little less weight in the moving, a little more yes in the step. I have carried enough to know that lightness doesn't mean denial. It means the strain has changed its distance. It means the breath has found more room. And standing here within that widening, I don't need to call it victory, only a gentler kind of future, coming close enough to feel. When the day opens, everything answers differently. The chest, the pace, the inner voice, all turning toward release. Not forgetting, not pretending, only opening by degrees. And the world feels more receivable than it did before this ease. Maybe closure is not an ending, maybe it is simply space restored, a way of meeting what comes after without shrinking from its shape. That is what this moment offers, not perfection, not applause, only a clearer kind of presence and the strength to stay inside it. When the day opens, I can feel the hour grow wider. What was dim is now more legible. What was burdened stands more free. There is hope in this without excess. There is warmth without display, and I can leave this moment more open than the one who entered it. The sky stays clear, the pulse stays light, and something lifted stays inside. day leaves marks in the body, but not all of them have to stay. Some of it can loosen slowly, some of it can lose its claim. You don't have to carry onward every strain that followed through. There are ways to come back inward without asking where you broke. Even now the breath can lengthen, even now the chest can clear. What felt fixed a moment earlier can change by being met more gently. No demand to make a lesson, no pressure to become at once. Only this steadier permission to be tired and still be whole. Nothing hard remains, not in the same way, not forever. What presses now can thin and soften, what darkens now can lose its hold. You can let this hour receive you without having to explain. There is kindness in continuing, there is calm beyond the strain. I have seen how relief begins not through brightness, not through escape, but through being given room to breathe without defense. That is enough for this moment, that is enough to let things change. Not by force, not by denial, but by gentler ways of staying. Nothing hard remains, even if it lingers for a while. It's shake and shift inside the body, its voice can fade against the breath. You are not required to conquer, you are not required to shine, only to remain within yourself till the pressure gives you time. The dust goes tender, the pace grows slow, and what was hard begins to let go.
Beside us in a tone too calm to break. We keep the same direction without deciding who began. There's a warmth beneath the silence, not bright enough to ask for notice. Only something growing clearer as the distance starts to thin. I can feel it in the pacing, and how neither one of us withdraws. Nothing hurried into meaning, nothing shaped to look profound. Still the air grows more attentive, still the space between us shifts, like a truth not yet spoken, already finding where to live. Before it settles, it is already changing me. Before it turns to language, it has altered how I move. There's a nearness taking shape without demanding to be named, and I know it by the quiet, by the warmth that stays in place. Some feelings ask for patience, not because they doubt themselves, but because they carry better when they enter without force. I don't need to make this brighter, I don't need to make it known. What is real can hold its balance long before it speaks aloud. Before it settles, it has already reached the body, in the easing of my guard, in the softness of my pace. What was only possibility now feels steady, low and true, and the way we keep on moving makes me trust what's coming through. The evening widens, the current runs slow, and something quiet starts to grow.
Do not have to name it to feel the distance change. It happens in the quiet of how we keep the same pace. Nothing bright enough to startle, nothing hidden out of fear, only a gentler current drawing closer as we move. A glance becomes an answer, becomes a kind of trust, and what began as open space now carries something warm beneath. No rush toward confession, no need to press it into words. Still the air grows more attentive, still the nearness keeps its shape. We are nearer by degrees, not through promises of fire, but through how we walk beside it, through the ease that does not strain. Something tender is unfolding without asking to be shown, and the way you stay knows how it does not call for drama, how affection gathers slowly and arrives without disguise. Some feelings deepen better when they are given time to form, not declared against the silence, but carried gently through it. We are nearer by degrees, nearer in the quiet rhythm. What was only possibility now has warmth beneath its name. No need to force the moment brighter, no need to prove what this may mean. There is something true between us in the way we keep it easy. The pace stays light, the dusk goes wide, and nearness keeps its side. The day steps back a little from the edge it held too long, and something in my breathing finds a quieter place to land. What felt close and pressing loses some of its demand, till the body starts remembering how to loosen without fear. I don't need the world made lighter, I don't need a sudden change, only this return of balance, only this untroubled air. Every thought that ran in circles begins to widen at the seams, and the strain that filled the hours no longer sounds the same. This is a softer return to myself, to steadier ground, not through rescue, not through wonder, just through laying pressure down. I can feel the pace grow kinder, I can feel the chest unclose, and the room inside my silence starts to feel like somewhere known. Maybe peace is not dramatic, maybe peace is simply less resistance in the body, less insistence in the head. No one asking me for brightness, no one pulling me ahead, only the quiet recognition I have carried enough today. This is a softer return, and I am letting it come nearer through the breath and through the stillness, through the parts that used to brace. What was tense is learning softness, what was rushed can now lie low, and I can stay inside this calm long enough to trust its tone. The pulse grows clear, the pace grows slow, and something steady starts to show. how to meet my own reflection without asking it for proof. Not as someone needing rescue, not as someone to repair, only as a life still moving through an unfinished kind of grace. What felt jagged starts to soften, what felt urgent loses heat. Even thoughts that used to circle now begin to spread and thin. There is less resistance in me, less need to hold against the grain. And in that change I find a quiet I had almost stopped expecting. I'm finding a kind of frame, one that doesn't close me in, one that leaves enough forgiveness for the parts still learning ease. This is not a grand becoming, only a steadier way to stand, but it carries more healing than the harder ways I knew. There are days when care looks simple, like not making every feeling a trial, like letting the body speak more softly and trusting what grows calm. I do not need to earn this gentleness, I do not need to arrive transformed. I can begin from where I'm breathing and let that be enough for now. I'm finding a kind of frame, and it fits more honestly, not polished into certainty, not pushed beyond its need, just a slower form of courage, just a warmer way to live. And the self I meet this evening feels easier to forgive. The breath stays low, the mind gives way, and kindness learns to stay.
Something in me has stopped resisting, not because the road is smooth, but because I'm no longer answering every pressure with a shield. The air feels wider after passing through what it needed to become, and the ground ahead seems readable in a way it didn't before. I'm not stepping into brightness, I'm stepping into something clear, where the weight has less authority and the body moves with less defense. There's no anthem in this change, no sudden surge, no borrowed fire, only a steadier return of motion, only a quieter kind of lift. I am moving into open ground, into room, into direction, into a pace that does not fight me, into breath that reaches through. What was blurred begins to open, what was guarded eases back, and the line ahead feels honest in a way I almost trust. Renewal doesn't always dazzle, sometimes it just makes space. Sometimes it comes as less confusion, sometimes it comes as easier steps. That is enough to call it change, that is enough to keep on going, without pretending nothing hurt, without letting it decide the rest. future doesn't need a shout. What is opening can stay gentle. What is new can still be calm. And I can walk inside this widening without fear of losing shape. The way grows open, the breath goes far, and something clear becomes where I am.
There are names the body keeps without pulling everything behind them. There are paths the mind can cross without falling through the years. What remains is not the sharpness, not the ache in its first form, only something quieter now, moving underneath the day. I can feel it in the openness, in the way the air goes through. Not as longing asking back, not a sorrow dressed in grace, just a low and steady imprint that no longer closes in. A part of what I've carried, growing lighter as I live. What still moves doesn't ask to take me under, it stays near the edges of the self, in a tone I can receive. Not a plea, not a returning, not a shadow over now, only a human kind of memory, becoming gentler in the blood. Maybe that is how some stories last, not by holding every detail still, but by losing what was hardest and keeping only what was true. There is mercy in that shifting, there is kindness in the fade, and I can meet the past more openly when it no longer asks to stay. What still moves has become part of the weather in me, not a storm, not even rain, only movement through the air. Something lived and something carried, something changed and something known, and the shape it leaves behind feels lighter than before. The air moves through the hillside breeze, and memory rests without asking me.
pressure. It feels like somewhere I can move without proving I am ready, without racing what comes next. There is calm inside the motion. There is ease beneath the speed, and the day passes in a manner that no longer leans against me. I know what it is to brace too early, to meet the future with a shield. But something in me has grown steadier. Something has unclenched its will. I don't need a dramatic turning. I don't need to leave the past behind. Only this more human distance between the body and the strain. This is a road without pressure, not because it lost its edges, but because I meet it differently, with less fear inside the chest. I can go without defending, I can move without escape, and the way ahead feels honest in a lower kind of key. Renewal may be quiet by nature, a thing of posture, breath and pace, a way of entering the hours without taking up a weapon. That is enough to call it healing. That is enough to call it change. When the body stops expecting harm, the whole world shifts its frame. This is a road without pressure, and I am gentler moving through it. What was tight has lost its rule. What was hard has eased its claim. I am not arriving spotless, I am not returning new, only more able to continue with a steadier point of view. The line runs on, the breath runs deep, and something calm is mine to keep. We do not need much language. The morning already knows our pace. There's a quiet in the way we move that feels older than the day. Nothing needing to be proven, nothing arranged to look like love. Only the ease that comes from staying long enough to soften into one. I know your silences by rhythm, you know mine by how they live.
in that plain understanding, a deeper kind of warmth appears. Not the kind that asked for witness, not the kind that turns to shore. Only something lived so often, it has entered how we breathe. This is the pace we keep, not in words but in the flow, in the way we make room naturally, in the way the day grows whole. No bright promise, no performance, just a calm that learned our names, and a closeness made of patience that remains without display. To rise and make itself known. Now I trust the quieter versions, the ones that steady rather than shine. What lasts does not always announce itself. Sometimes it becomes the atmosphere, a way of being less alone, without needing to explain why. This is the pace we keep, something gentle, something proven, not by vows or sudden fire, but by how the spirit rests. What we've made is not dramatic, that is why it feels so true. When the morning moves more softly, when it opens through me and you, the breath stays near, the pace stays kind, and what we are takes its time.